Welcome. Kicking with Coach K podcast. This is episode 39. I am your host, Coach K. So, listen, guys, I'm going to make this short, sweet, and to the point. Sometimes things happen in life and podcasting and business, whatever you may call it, coaching. Obviously, things happen in life. We had a little bit of a miscommunication and a misunderstanding with our guest. It's my fault. It's on me. I take complete ownership of that and accountability. The good news is Coach Macbeth, Coach Missy Mitchell Macbeth, who was supposed to be on the show, she will be on. I have it confirmed on February 4th. I just rescheduled with her. Shout out to Coach. We're excited to have her on again. This was on me. Really excited to have her on the show. I can't wait to pick her brain apart about strength and conditioning. Just some of the different things in today's kind of our thought process when it comes to training kids and how to develop them as athletes and those different things, nutrition, rest, all of the above. Very, very intelligent person. If to be honest with y'all, go follow her right now on Twitter. If you're a coach, if you're in this field, if you're training kids, any of that, if you're, a strength and conditioning coach, whatever it may be, go give her a follow on X, Twitter, and make sure, and Instagram as well, because she knows her stuff. Very educated. Can't wait to have that conversation. This show is brought to you by Brain Jerk Entertainment, Kennedy Health and Wellness. Welcome to the Brain Jerk era. You know what it is. Our podcast network is always getting better. We're always growing. On Wednesdays, Josh and I are hosting Pillar Talk now. Pillar Talk, where we sit down with interesting people and have interesting conversations, important conversations. And this past week, we had Tom Gerwek on. Shout out to Tom. Amazing story, a lot of history about Monroe and different things, and a lot of just different insight on his feelings on some different things on the world today. Incredible for somebody that's experienced so much, just to hear his thoughts and his stories. So amazing episode. Make sure you go check it out this Wednesday, right? So just in a couple days here, we have Broast Farms coming on. All right. So I believe we have both of them coming on, and we're excited for that conversation because that's a lot of asking questions about farming and different, living off the land questions and different things that is going to be super interesting. Long story short, check out Pillar Talk. Again, Brain Jerk has a bunch of podcasts going on throughout the week. Make sure you check them out. Tomorrow, Squared Circle Shenanigans. Make sure you tune in. You can find all their shows on their pages, X, YouTube, and Facebook. This show is also brought to you by Kennedy Health and Wellness. We are your one-stop shop, everything wellness from body care to candles. Guys, right here where we do our podcast, we have a new office being set up. All right. So for those who don't know, my wife and I in 2020 started a community of businesses. We've got like four of them right now that we kind of operate under different and do different things, right? So Kennedy Health and Wellness being one of those. But this office downtown is going to offer us a hub for all this community of businesses where we'll be able to do different things, sign you up for our cycle club, pick up your orders with no shipping fees anymore. So now you don't have to pay extra for your products. You can come right to downtown. We'll walk it down to your car. You don't even have to get out of your car. So just a great opportunity for you guys to check us out there. Again, if you want to come ride this spring with our cycle club, we'll be doing signups. I'll be doing some different coaching things in this office, but it'll just be a hub for us to kind of check in with you guys, whatever your need may be, whichever business you may need it under. So make sure you stay tuned on that as we keep posting pictures and things on social media of the update of that office. Another thing, though, that I want to talk to you guys about is we have our coaching clinic coming up on February 10th. And guys, I'm going to pull this up real quick, but we just announced our last speakers today. So I really want to touch on this just for a minute here before we dive into that big Detroit Lions victory and what we have moving forward on this show for you guys. But coaching clinic coming up on February 10th. Guys, tickets are $25 right now. Like I said this on Instagram yesterday and Facebook, but $25, you get a meal, a drink, and you get 3 hours of clinicking with some incredible coaches. Excuse me. That's a great deal. All right. We have Coach Corey Parker from University of Toledo football. We have Coach Christopher Harris. Shout out Harper Woods football. Shout out to all these guys. Coach Brooke Martin over at Allen Park. She's the head coach of the volleyball program. I will be speaking myself. And then our last two speakers that we announced today, Coach Paris McCarthy and Coach Ashley Knight, the Romulus girls basketball coaches. So shout out to everybody. We're also bringing in TeamFi, the app that helps coaches save money on fundraising. Coaches that tune in, did you hear me just now? This app is supposedly it's new, but it's supposedly one that's been working awesome, and it saves you a bunch of money. I know some coaches personally that have used this, that have reposted on Twitter. But again, the TeamFi app will be there. Shout out to those guys for coming and setting a booth up. Also, All Heart Athletics is going to be in the house. I'm hearing that what I heard is that All Heart might have some swag bags for everybody that buys a ticket. So, hey, I'm just telling you guys, $25 for a clinic, for a meal, for a drink, for a swag bag, for everything that comes with this, for discussions about everything. Invest in yourself, invest in your kids, your program. Come out and have a great day. That's on February 10th from noon to 3, and it's at Cilantro Off the Rails. Shout out to my guy, Miguel. And again, I just want to give some love real quick to everybody that helped put this together. So obviously my wife at Kennedy Health and Wellness, shout out to Mikey and 8 Mile Vodka. As I just said, we're doing this at Off the Rails. Shout out to them. My guys at Brain Jerk Entertainment, shout out to these guys for everything they do, sponsoring, helping us out. They've been a huge part of this, this coaching clinic as well. All Heart Athletics, shout out to Laura and All Heart, and then Monroe County Sports Network. You see I'm rocking the hat today. Shout out to my guy Dev and the Monroe County Sports Network. You know they'll be in the house and obviously supporting this as well. Again, guys, this is a great opportunity for coaches of any sport, any level. Just come in, enhance your knowledge, find ways to be able to find things to be able to take back to your program and be able to apply right now. And I think that's a big thing. So incredible coaches will be there speaking, and just make sure you guys tune in. Again, the link is on Eventbrite. I've been posting it all week long. $25 for a single ticket. Make sure you check us out. This show today is brought to you by Amaya's Fresh Mexican Grill, Little Brown Jug, Lane's Pizzeria, IWR, All Heart Athletics, Monroe County Sports Network, 1817 CrossFit, Big Back Prep, 8 Mile Vodka, Back Road Baggers, Smoker Society, Spooky Films, Nerdy Designs, and Just Drive with Jess. Let me give some love to John Drake and Nerdy Designs, because I forgot to give him some love a minute ago, and I need to give him love because he did the posters for the coaching clinic along with a bunch of posters for all of us. Incredible dude and incredible stuff, incredible work that Nerdy Designs does. If you need anything done, go check out Nerdy Designs. Quote of the day: suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. That's by Muhammad Ali. We are in the stage of coaching right now in my sport, at least in football, where we're in the weight room, we're in the off season, we're doing, different competitive drills. It's really that time that tests your commitment, right? Because the season just ended not too long ago. We're a long way from August. This isn't football practice with a ball in your hand. This really tests you right now. And that's kind of, where I get that quote from. I'm a big Muhammad Ali guy myself. But just thinking of that quote, suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. I also think, just in today's world, that's a big message. You can, if you go to the gym every day, right? If you're just a middle-aged, everyday person that's got a job and family and a busy schedule, a business, whatever, you have to choose to get some kind of movement in and stay busy, right? And that's kind of that suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. You might, if you're running a business, you might go through some long nights, to have success in the future. If you're coaching, you might be doing more clinicking this off season and breaking down film than you did before, so you can fix it for next off season or next, during next season and those different things. And then the health part of it, right? As I just explained too, get moving and get active, so that you can live healthy. Being healthy is being a champion. So our read of the day, guys, I got to give a shout out to Coach Bowers. This is our read of the day, the Twin Thieves, how great leaders build great teams. I'm going to show you guys this here real quick, but Coach Bowers at Erie Mason, shout out to him. That's our varsity head coach. He actually gifted this to me for Christmas. and I've kind of just started diving into it, but I've been told by a lot of coaches that this is a phenomenal book. Make sure you check it out. So we're just going to talk about a couple things here before we get out of here. This will be a somewhat relatively short episode, but we do want to talk about a couple things before we jump out. So first off, congratulations. Obviously, the story of the day, right? We're watching the Chiefs game and the Bills game right here in the background at Brain Jerk Studios. But shout out to the Lions. We just finished watching that. Incredible. And I was just telling Josh, so here's my perspective and kind of here's the deal about this. And I'm not the biggest diehard NFL guy. I'm really a college sports guy. And I'm a big Tennessee Titans fan, and I do like the Lions as well. I'm always a hometown fan of every hometown team. But here's the deal with the Lions. So in 2006, if you went to Detroit and you saw the Tigers playing the World Series, or you went in 2004 and you saw the Pistons playing the NBA championship, that was a whole different feeling for the whole city. Like, if you've never been there, and I'm sure people who went to the Lions game that listen to this are going to be like, hell yeah, dude. But that's a different environment down in Detroit. And it takes a city that is doing better, but is still fighting a lot of things and still getting better. That is such an uplifter to a city, man. Like that. It's such a moment where everybody comes together and you kind of realize like how tight things could be, how good things can be. And I was just telling, Brain Jerk Josh before the show, I was just telling him, like, I remember that there was people that probably hated each other, and you watched them come together and not care because there was this common love that was so great for wanting the Tigers to win, wanting the Lions to win, the Pistons, and even the Red Wings, right? And it's so deep and intense, man, that it's a beautiful thing for you. It's life-changing. It changes things for your city, for the people. And I mean that. Like this run, and I watched it with Michigan fans, right? Like it put so much hope into people and so much positivity. But now, like this type of thing, I've seen it firsthand for like a whole city. Like it's a very uplifting thing, and it does a lot. And I think this run has things like this, whether people want to admit it or not. And I know Wednesdays is for more politics and more of not politics necessarily, but more like the world and those sort of things and topics. But the reality is like sports brings us together. Like that shit that football game brings a lot of people together. That Lions run this year has brought a lot of people together. So in a world where we're so fixated on like red and blue, as far as politics or my opinion versus your opinion or this and that, like shit, we can come together for this Lions game. And we've seen that, and it's been a connector of people, and it's beautiful in a world that's struggling to connect. So really, to me, this Lions win is more than football. Like we have a big saying, shout out to Coach Surs. I got this from him, but more than ball. And even at the professional level, like them guys are guys that are making big money, but that stuff is so much more than just football. They're literally uplifting a city, a state. It's incredible. They're connecting people like nothing else can right now. And it's awesome to see, right? So sports are amazing. It's why we do this podcast. It's why I coach. Sports save lives. But right now, I want to give a huge shout out to the Lions for honestly bringing up an entire city and really being hope for a lot of people. And even on when people are going through dark things, or maybe they disagree with this person or that, you're finding a way to uplift and connect. And that is awesome. As far as the other message I want to give about the Lions, though, can we just start trusting in our coaches and in what we're doing? And can we start giving people some time to develop some things? I think the Lions and really Michigan are both a prime example of like, can we give some stuff time before always jumping the gun after a season or, a season and a half? Like sometimes things take time to develop and take time to put the right pieces in place, depending on where you're at. And I think you're seeing patience now, letting Dan Campbell do his thing the last few seasons, letting Jared Goff kind of get some time under his heels in Detroit and do his thing. You're seeing that really pay off. And I think that needs to be noted, that Detroit has really been patient and developed the right way. And it's awesome to see. So as a football fan, there's I'm not gonna lie, and there's some people, shout out to Coach Poe. He'll be on the show. We have a Super Bowl Sunday special coming on February 11th, so make sure you tune in with Coach Poe. Shout out to him. He's a Niners fan. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There's no story for football better than Detroit winning. And I know everybody's gonna say, and including Poe, if he listens to this, everybody's gonna say that I'm being biased, and I'm really not. Not biased at all. I'm being dead. I don't have bias. I'm a Titans fan, and I didn't grow up. I went to one Lions game. And it was when Joey Harrington was the quarterback, and it wasn't very fun. I'll just say that. It was like 9-6, and it was all field goals. I don't have that like deep root. I'm looking at this from purely like this is doing a lot for our city, our state, and I'm looking at this from a pure football, like what's good for the game. And I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing if the Lions pull this off, and it's already beautiful what they have done. But that is the best story for football if the Lions can pull this out, just because of everything that goes into it, right? Just the stretch the Lions have went without winning it, everything they've had to go through, the 0-16 season, having Barry, having Calvin, and not getting a ring out of it. It's all that pain, right? We talked about this with Michigan, right? If JT wasn't short and Michigan didn't lose to Toledo and this and that, the national championship doesn't feel quite as sweet. And it's just, it's one of those things with Detroit too, where it's like there is no Super Bowl sweeter than the Lions winning it. There's not. And again, this is a guy that wishes the Titans were going to win it, but the reality is there's not a better story. There's nothing better for football than the Detroit Lions finding a way to win the Super Bowl. So I love it. I'll be tuning in next week. San Fran on the clock for Detroit. It's going to be an awesome game. I think that game will be extremely close, to be honest with you guys. And I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest. So congratulations to them. San Fran is beatable, but it's also going to take – I think that game is going to – it's really going to be whoever can bring that A-plus game. And so then the other team might bring their A game, but whoever can have that clean day and just play their style of ball the best is going to win the game. And I know that sounds really simple, but I feel like San Fran is a very stylistic team, in my opinion, as far as kind of run the ball, make sure Brock Purdy is feeling comfortable and kind of just managing things right, play good defense. There's an identity to things, right? And I think both teams need to show up. I think we're going to have an awesome football game. Again, best for football if the Lions win. I'm rooting for the Lions. If I was to pick, I'd probably go with Detroit. I just think there's a lot of momentum. I know it's tough to go into San Fran, but I'd go with Detroit at this moment. But again, super excited. We got the Bills on right now and KC. So we'll see what happens in this game. Ultimately, out of the AFC, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and it's not that I'm doing this podcast, so I'm not paying super hard attention to this game. But the handful of things that I've watched so far, I don't think either of these teams can mess with Baltimore. Just being honest, I think we got a Baltimore Super Bowl for sure coming, and probably I don't know if it matters who comes out of the NFC. I think Baltimore is on a roll right now. But again, guys, coming towards the end of the season, football, a lot of fun right now at the end of the season here, competitive, all the best teams left on the clock, and the Detroit Lions are in the middle of that right now. How incredible to be one of the final four teams in football, to come from where they came from. So again, just wanted to check in with you guys, explain the situation with our show tonight, talk about the Lions a little bit, check in on our clinic, and need you guys to make sure you guys go get your tickets for that clinic. Coaches, if you're listening to this, go grab your tickets for that. Next week, guys, at 7 p.m., we are going to have Coach Evan Epoch in. Evan worked with me at Neapco Drivelines way back in the day. He's done some youth coaching at Airport, both on the wrestling and the football program. And him and I are going to sit down and we're going to have a discussion about youth sports. And we're going to talk about his experiences, but we're going to kind of discuss a handful of topics that are based around youth sports and kind of our thoughts on that. And him and I, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Him and I are known to have some pretty good conversations. We don't always agree, but we're always able to have a really, really productive, thought-out conversation. So it should be very interesting next week. So make sure you guys tune in. Again, Wednesday at 6 p.m., Pillar Talk. You guys tune into that. Make sure you check us out. Sunday, 7 p.m., back here with Coach Epoch. Make sure you check that out. Appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight, and we will see you guys next week.